June 6, 2000. Hello, Top Gold. We're at the Owego Riverwalk. How we doing? I said I was going to broadcast, and I am broadcasting from the Owego Riverwalk along the Susquehanna River. This is Draper Park. It's actually the other end of the park where I was at. This is the memorial they have here in Owego, New York for the fallen firefighters and police officers. Not sure how that's coming in. We have two viewers here for Rich. We have Bernie Goldbach from Ireland. This is Draper Park. It's the one other end of the Riverwalk where I did a watching Barcelona beach as you walk the river. Okay. And like I said, this is the Owego Bridge. It takes you over to, right over there is Route 86 over by those trees. But there's the mighty Susquehanna where I was. I was here yesterday, and actually I was walking down, and you have Owego Park that's over there on the other side. So you have two parks. This is the western end of the Riverwalk in Owego. And the mighty, majestic Susquehanna River, as I tweeted out yesterday in a video tweet. And there we go, the Riverwalk. I'm not going to walk all the way. But this is a good example of the power of Periscope, because I am not tied to Wi-Fi. I am using 3G on my LG Ultimate 2 smartphone. And that's the bridge. This is a newer bridge. Now, when we had the flood of 2011, the water was as high as this bridge, all across the river back in 2011. And hello, David. I am seeing, I'm walking the Riverwalk. It's going to get a little dark here. I can see the comments. I'm not going to walk all the way. Good signal, no drop. I'm on 3G, Bernie. I'm using my 3G. I'm going to be broadcasting here for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to stay on this park and give you some views of the Susquehanna as well as the bridge. And I can see some of the comments. And I should have a good signal because I don't have to depend on Wi-Fi. And again, the power of Periscope on the smartphone. And one of the tools that I have now, as far as to broadcast instantaneously wherever I want to. That's the power of Periscope. That's what I like about Periscope. Instantaneously live, and I can show you this view. And I come here, me and Max, sometimes we walk here, I bring them out here. We're about a 5-minute drive from my house. And David says, are they good fish? There's rock bass in there. Actually, this river, it flows this way, down that way. And if I was to take a canoe, I could go south on this. And I could end up down there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, I believe, Bernie, if I'm not mistaken. And again, I want to recognize the viewers. We have David from Ireland, Party World, and then Bernie Goldbach at Top Gold. And I believe we have one web viewer, which I greatly appreciate also. Again, and there's a fire truck, an antique fire truck going across the Owego Bridge. As we walk up, and Bernie, yep, Susquehanna goes to Lancaster County, yep. And if I was to take a canoe back in the day when we didn't have vehicles, that's how I would have visited Bernie if he was down there in Lancaster. David, how many miles away is that? I would have to check, David, but I know I drove down there in Lancaster to visit Bernie, and it was about a 4-hour drive. And here's the rest of it. And you'll like this view, both of you, because right across the street, that's the park view, and you can see they are flying an Irish flag. The park view. historical. That's a nice bar there. You get a good meal there. And right next to that is Dunkin' Donuts where there's Wi-Fi. Now actually, this being Fireman Rich, at Fireman Rich on the road, the fireman statue is way over there behind the courtyard. That's the courthouse. It's on the other side of the courthouse. So I like coming here because there's a lot. This is sort of the crossroads of the county right here. But as you can see, we have the Irish flag there on the park view. We continue on the Riverwalk here along the mighty, majestic Susquehanna River. I'm sharing this with you all. There's another better view of the bridge. And we got beautiful skies. So this is Draper's Park. David, Greg will be going mad to miss this. Well, I'm going to be doing a replay and archiving this on YouTube. You can go ahead and share the replay if you guys want to. I guess that's one of the updates. You can do an instant share to replay, and it can be watched instantaneously. The updates, I looked in the updates. The updates are good. There goes a squirrel. David, thank you for inviting your followers. There's a squirrel there. And I'm getting some notifications on the phone. But this is a nice park. Me and Max come here. There's a bus station right there. Like I said, there's a historical Parkview Hotel where they have a good bar down there, and the courthouse. So this is going to give me an idea as far as being on 3G, what kind of signal I have as I walk back. And like I said, there's another park like this that it runs the back end of what is known as River Row. David, great sound and image. Thank you, David, for that input. I appreciate it. And there's somebody, they're out there fishing. I don't know if you can see they're fishing right there. We got some people fishing under there. And there goes another, that's the Owego fire truck right there. They've got a field days going on over in Appalachian where I grew up. Today's the last day. They've been doing that for like, it's every first week of June. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They had the fireworks last night. Like I said, this is a busy place. David, that would be a great scope. Yeah, I'm working. I don't know. That gets too busy. Like I said, that's the Owego Courthouse there. Dunkin' Donuts. And like I said, I'm about a 5 to 10 minute drive from here. I like stopping here every once in a while. Just getting out of work. Again, there's a closer view of the park view. An Irish pub. An Irish place to get some supper. And here's something fishing. Well, I'm getting the sunlight. I can't, it's not really. They used to have steamboats here on the. Used to go to Hiawatha Island, which is right down the road. There's an eagle's nest on the Hiawatha Island. There's a web page there. If I can go to www.villageofowego.com or www.visittioga.com. There you go. Get a whole bunch of information about the county I live in. And there's the memorial. That's the All Wars Memorial right there. I'm going to probably end up doing a broadcast there eventually of at Fireman Rich on the road. That's what I'm going to call this, I think. I think Greg coined that. And I think I'm going to be, I think that's how I called it. And again, another view of the park view. And Greg, what the flag's next to? Oh, okay, that's a state flag. This is the U.S. flag, and that's the state flag, and this is in memory of fallen heroes, Owego Fire Department, and police officers who gave their lives for the safety of Owego citizens. They placed that in this park, which is just a small park. Like I said, it walked the back end of River Road along the Susquehanna. You go to Awaga Park. So that's the river, or the river walk on this part. And I'm going to leave you with this view right here as I end this broadcast at about, 11 minutes, 12 minutes. And I greatly appreciate the views. David, and I guess Bernie bugged out. We have one web viewer. You all have a good one. Live life. And have fun. Ciao for now. Have a good evening, David.